Move on to Robin, because I'm conscious of time, just, and then if there's a bit left at the end, we'll go back to members again. Go ahead, Robin.
Hey, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Minister, for attending today. I wonder, Minister, could I ask you about the two questions, actually, one around the legislation and the regulation of gambling, which I think we all know is way, way out of date, and I think we know the negative impact that gambling has on individuals, and the reports about children at a younger and younger age becoming involved in gambling and addicted to gambling, and indeed the impact that it has on destroying family life, creating poverty, and indeed leading to mental health issues. We know that the technology around today has created greater opportunities for the gambling industry. Minister, could you just expand on your thinking around gambling at the minute and the legislation?
So you're right, Robin, there are massive concerns, particularly with, I suppose, more immediate impact or access to the internet, because even with COVID and a lot of bookies were closed, a lot of people went to the internet in order to gamble, and that's one aspect. You'll also be aware within your own constituency, as most of us are across ours, the access to the gambling, the slot machines and all that stuff. I mean, some of the chippies you can go into, you can have a gamble as well. So that's also going to have to be looked at. But we're also looking at things like gaming machines, prize competitions, even the advertising of gambling, and any new legislation. And we absolutely need to put measures in to protect vulnerable people and people who have a problem with gambling. So we have started the process of looking at the consultation or at the legislation, what it will look like, and we hope to make progress on that certainly after the summer recess. And like the pension scheme legislation, we hope to try and get it in so it meets the legislative timetable within this mandate, so we don't have to rush it through accelerated passage. So hopefully, coming out the other side of summer, we'll start to see a bit more development in that, and certainly going through the committee, Robin.
Could I put this one to you, Minister? In terms of the size of Northern Ireland and the need, I suppose, the global impact of some of the gambling industry, laws in Northern Ireland would not have a significant impact upon that industry if we've got to the stage of imposing fines on them. Is there a need for us to be, rather than thinking about specific laws in Northern Ireland, but a very close relationship with laws throughout the United Kingdom in order to make that major impact?
Well, Robin, the problem is, even from some of the public consultations that we've had and even listening to people in the sector, they don't feel that the laws in Britain go far enough. Like, for example,
I agree with you.
so like one of the things that we've found out is there's really a big growing concern about the social and health problems caused by levels of gambling here. You mentioned that yourself, 4 times higher mental health rates and everything else. So what we want to do is, and this isn't political, Robin, it doesn't matter if the better legislation was in Westminster than it was in Leinster House. I'll go for the best legislation. So this isn't, about me being politically biased here. It's just that even through our own consultations, people here are saying the laws in Britain don't go far enough. And part of the problem with that is, I'll say this, that they feel that the gambling lobbyists have too big a reach into Westminster, and they also feel that the internet is a big problem on how that's regulated and the pushback from some of the big internet companies. So it is a mammoth task, but it's not impossible. And I think we have a stronger ability to bring forward better and stronger legislation which will protect people who have issues with problem gambling.
Okay, I'm not sure how we in Northern Ireland might impact on the internet, but I agree with you about the laws in Westminster. Can I ask you, Minister, just very quickly about housing, and really whether or not you envisage getting to the stage where the housing executive would be in a position to build new houses again, in addition to what the housing associations can do?
I want the housing executive to build new houses, and it's as well as rather than instead of.
Yeah,
Because in all our constituencies, there's a massive housing problem. But we do need to get rid of the obstacle dropping, and that's the historical debt and the corporation tax. We also need to give them the barriers and the programme for government commitments with the outcomes to deliver more social housing. I don't know if we're going to do it within this mandate. It would be my ambition to try, but certainly we need to put down the foundations as part of the new decades new approach, but as well as any subsequent programme for government would do to ensure that it happens, because it does need to happen. There's no two ways about it.
I'm glad to hear that the debt problem is there, but indeed the ambition is there to allow the housing executive to build. That's good news.
Okay, thank you, everybody, and thank you.